Yo, just before we rip this amazing trade recap, I did want to mention that I got partnered with Alpha Futures, so I now have my own code. So if you enjoy the free content I make, all the recaps, all the stuff I do on the Discord, I'd really appreciate it if y'all supported me with that, so I don't have to cope and. So hope y'all enjoy this trade recap, and let's get right into it. Yo, what's going on? Got a trade recap today, so we're going to be going over why this trade did lose. Now to do that, obviously we got to start on the higher time frame. So what was I seeing going into the day? Well, the 4-hour chart, we are just kind of bullish. I don't like that we're now in this high time frame consolidation. We're definitely going to have some worse PA over the following days, but I was more comfortably being bullish. We do have these bullish gaps that we are reacting out of, and at the time we actually had a 4-hour. So just going down to the day, like the bias is just kind of bullish. Like we can't really assume much else. If we open up ES right here, you can see on the high time frame, like we have an SMT at this low, and then like somewhat of a distribution, and then we continue making gaps. So for the most part, the bias on the high time frame is a little iffy. I'd really like us to rebalance, of course, hit this like opening range gap, maybe go to an equilibrium, because we are super overbought, super premium, but it's like, what other choice do I have? Maybe I should have sat this out, but just kind of bullish until proven wrong. So we did make this 4-hour gap. So this is going to be my key level. So we open this 4-hour gap at the 10 a.m. candle. You can see right here, it's to this low of this 4-hour, and then we open up right here. So we have a 4-hour gap, we have an hourly gap, just a ton of imbalances, and then as well as that, ES had ran through some of them. So we also had some SMTs down here. So a cracking correlation, a high time frame gap with this huge liquidity sweep. So we had a lot of essentially good criteria. Everything was swept out. We had some SMTs. We had very good targets. I'd say this trade is better on the targets rather than the stop loss, because I can kind of see, a reason to go lower. Like we had, let me put this on. We'd kind of edged this unmitigated gap right here. Like we kind of came close to it, but with the fresh unmitigated 4-hour opening, I didn't really think like, okay, well, we just opened up a 4-hour unmitigated gap and we had this reaction. Why would we now seek a 1-hour unmitigated gap? Because we just had that. So I didn't really see a point to this low, but I guess, like that could just be why we were bearish. I also saw on ES that we were very close to this 1-hour intermediate low at the time of the setup. You can see the long right here. It is this low. So we did kind of edge some liquidity. I can definitely understand why we swept it, but like even then, whenever we did sweep it, the trade still failed, or like we didn't play out bullish, so the trade would have failed anyway, even if we did sweep it, because obviously it wasn't significant enough for a reaction. And then the targets are really good. Like the framework of this setup is why I'm actually so okay with this loss. You have a very clear AMD accumulation prior to 10 a.m. open with news. So this is data high as well. I'll go ahead and mark that out. So we have some very, very good liquidity. Open imbalances, a 5-minute imbalance, a data high liquidity pool, a 10 a.m. PO3, and AMD. It's very, very solid. Obviously, manipulating out this entire accumulation, and then we get this reaction. So I'm just okay with the trade. Like I really like it. We hadn't really rebalanced at all during this day, so I'm like, okay, we definitely should rebalance because we just took out everything to the sell side. I'd say my biggest issue here was just like the iffiness of the high time frame, maybe too premium, and then that sweep thing that I talked about on ES. But no rebalance on the 5-minute at all since 9:30. We barely even have like retraces on the 2-minute. Yes, like we just haven't really, been rebalancing these huge imbalances we've been making, as well as all this LR. So definitely a trade worth taking for me. You can simply see by the framework, this looks like all my other A+ setups. So definitely not something I'm tripping about. I guess it is a Monday. It is the first news day in a while. So somewhat avoidable. I'm still okay with it. And yeah, if y'all enjoyed this recap, I'd appreciate if y'all subscribed. I also do trade reviews every day at 11. If you're watching this super early, I actually have the review in 12 minutes if you'd want to join up to that. And yeah, hope y'all enjoyed.